Hey guys, it's been a while since I've made a video, and it's been a while since I've had anything new, so I'm going to show off some of my new hardware here. I got the Lambo. It's got all the bells and whistles except for it doesn't check resistance, which is kind of a negative. But speaking of that, I've got a pretty nice field piece meter here. Got that when I went through HVAC school. Anyways, I got the Oddy, or the iAtty, whatever you want to call it, and then of course the Lambo. So yeah, let's explain a little bit of the positives here on the Lambo. The Lambo, you can check the battery voltage by pushing the power button 5 times. The positive button and the negative button are in tenths of a volt, kind of like the ProVary. However, it's a little bit easier. You don't have to push it 5 times to activate it. You just push it 1 time and then it tells you where you're at, and then you just go from there. Okay, and then you got, so basically what this is a lava tube on steroids. It's the first edition electronics on the inside of here, unfortunately, but it pulls enough power that it's not a problem. Rocking this iAtty or Oddy at 4.5, and my coil was right at around 3.3, so I made it a little long, unfortunately. And I'm kind of new to it, but I was just really doing good to get a good coil in here, period, because I've only done it 3 times. My first one was going really well until I went to bed and woke up the next day. Then all of a sudden it was acting up from the get. And then the next one, the wick material actually broke off of it on one side, so it was acting up pretty much from the get also. So I learned you just got to make those connections real tight so that when you're doing a draw control here, you don't actually accidentally break something off. You got to really watch whenever you twist your wires together, your non-resistance and your resistance wires, that you're not letting them stick out also, which kind of makes me want to take the wire and put it on the inside, but then you risk your wick material breaking off too. So my best advice to everybody who hasn't or is going to get an Oddy is to try to figure out where the draw control needs to be for you and leave it that way, and don't mess with it. And hopefully it's not like me and it's going to mess up overnight. And you know, maybe I'm hoping that was just a problem with my setup. I was real particular this time. Made sure I got my wraps real close, made sure they weren't too tight, and so hopefully tomorrow morning when I wake up it's going to be just the way that it is now, because it's pretty nice. It's real nice when it's working well. Okay, it's really nice. The draw on these are going to be really open, so if you want to change the draw, it's kind of like the flow control goes. You can tighten it down and it will tighten the draw just a hair. Okay, so it's a nice all-around atomizer. Okay, it's real nice. I mean, I like it. It's been a real pain in the butt, but that's with everything that you're learning on. A little more about the Lambo. If you want to lock the voltage setting in, push and hold the positive and negative for 5 seconds. It has reverse polarity protection, and it also will shut off automatically when the battery goes down to 3.3 volts. However, my last battery was down to exactly 3 volts, so yeah, kind of scary. I'm real worried about that, so I'm going to use the checker more often, and when it gets down to about 3.5, 3.4, I'm going to go ahead and change it out myself. I've lost my trust in that on these. One thing that I can say is a negative otherwise about this is the button here. I mean, it's clicky, but it has gotten stuck in a couple of times, and probably 1 out of 15 pulls with this is a misfire. It's not firing, not getting power, it's not activating, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I mean, good thing too is the 18650 here. The battery lasts quite a while, so it's real nice. The batteries take a long time to charge too. I've got the pilot charger, and they charge at I hope I'm going to say this right, 3 watts, so or 600 milliamps. So Alright, well, let me show you guys how this is vaping. I'm going to do a little comparison against my favorite, which is the Vision Stone 3. And this has a fresh charge. Like I say, it's at 4.5 volts. Draw is really open, so it's really hard to give it enough time to heat up and make enough vapor. Not bad. I like it as long as you give it a primer puff, or as long as I do rather. Not everybody's going to have to do that. The Lambo also is vented at the bottom. I know a lot of people are weary about that. Everybody mentions it, so I will too. I'm rocking the Vision Stone 3 at 3.57 volts, which isn't too much. These are 2 ohms, however, they can vary up to 2. I've had some 2.5 ohms, so this one, however, feels like it's at 2 ohms, so I turned it down. 2.5, I generally turn it up to about 4 volts. I think I'm getting flooded. That's one of the downsides to the Vision Stone. Yeah, and that's what's happening. I'm getting a little flooded. If it's too full, it'll tend to flood. If you tilt too much, it'll tend to flood. Once it gets drier, it'll tend to get dry hits, or lighter on the liquid, I should say. But you know what? For $7.99 at eSmokerOnline.com, you really can't go wrong with this in comparison to something that cost over $100. I mean, for the vapor production, it's really well off. That's it. I love it. It's real nice. Let's do this again, both back to back. There you have it. Hopefully everybody likes the video. I'm trying to be fair, make sure all batteries were charged, and you know, take it as you will. I'm sure I can get this eventually to vape as good as the Vision Stone in time, and it will eventually, hopefully, pay for itself. If I have to rewrap a coil and do a wick every day, then obviously it's not going to pay for itself very quickly. So hopefully I get that issue ironed out, and I will give an update. Alright, thanks a lot for watching.